You just realized your business needed to hire someone yesterday. How can you find amazing candidates fast? Easy. Just use Indeed. Stop struggling to get your job post seen on other job sites. With Indeed sponsored jobs, your post jumps to the top of the page for your relevant candidates, so you can reach the people you want faster. According to Indeed data, sponsored jobs posted directly on Indeed have 45% more applications than non-sponsored jobs. Don't wait any longer. Speed up your hiring right now with Indeed. And listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit to get your jobs more visibility at Indeed.com/PODKATZ13. Just go to Indeed.com/PODKATZ13 right now and support our show by saying you heard about Indeed on this podcast. Terms and conditions apply. Hiring? Indeed is all you need.
Hello listeners of the show, I'm Nathan, and today I have with me Daisy Lush. We're delighted to have Daisy on the show. We're just going to talk a little bit about Daisy's story today, I think.
Thank you, Nathan.
We like to ask our interviewees, how did you find page 1?
Actually, contact with one of the first writers who formed the group, Jean Head Young, who was a childhood friend of mine. She approached me many times over the years to drop into page 1, but I never really got around to it or involved until about 10 to 15 years ago.
Very interesting. What inspired you to start writing?
Well, actually, I used to write in grade school, and at one point I wrote a poem, and my friend read it, and she said I didn't write it, so I kind of went into hiding, I guess. But, in the silent moments of my life, I like to scribble little things down here and there on napkins or whatever, and it's always there to refresh my train of thought for future writings.
Right, yeah, that is very nice. From our Creating a Legacy project, we remember you were involved in tourism. What did a typical day look like while working in the tourism industry?
Yes, Nathan, I became involved in tourism in 1987, starting with a bed and breakfast in Cormac, and eventually we added 5 cabins in 91. It's a very short season with busy, long days, very hard work, up early before the guests, preparing breakfast sometimes for 12 to 14 people, then basically cleaning the whole house and cottages every day for new guests. This was the usual routine for full tourism season, which lasted pretty much from the middle of June to Labor Day. And then it was mostly on a monthly basis if people came to rent the cabins or whatever.
When the children finished school, I sold the cabins, 203 I think, around about that time. And I moved to Deer Lake and took on a new adventure, working in remote rig camps, traveling back and forth to Alberta. The camps weren't real big, sometimes anywhere from 50 to 500 men. I started out as a second cook. Years ago, they would call it a cookie, I guess. I remember my father saying he was a cookie in the camp way back in the day. Then I advanced to first or main cook. Again, the work was hard, 12-hour shifts, but the pay was good. Not like tourism. I never really got paid, just made sure the business survived and paid for itself. Sometimes I was out there 6 weeks at a time. One year my husband was with me and we stayed 6 months. Now that was a long haul. We drove out in the motorhome in the fall and came back pretty near June, I do believe. That's how I got into the hunting camps with Arlock Outfitters. Same thing, only on a much smaller scale. Again, it was like doing your housework, but you're actually off-grid, but with all the amenities that you need. Everything is airlifted in, of course, with helicopters.
Okay, yeah, so you owned a bed and breakfast?
Yes, actually we opened the bed and breakfast in 1987, and then from there on we added the cabins.
What would be one thing that stuck with you while owning the tourism cabins?
Probably working from home. Owning and operating the cabins meant that I was home with my children, who were very young at the time, even though we didn't do a lot of summer things because I was so busy with tours and everything else. But I was still home to take care of them, which involved no babysitters as such. And I also got to meet a lot of people from all over the world.
Oh, wow. Very nice.
Mm-hmm.
What would you say was your favorite part of the job?
Favorite part of the job? Probably meeting people and hearing their story and, where they've been and where I never got to go, but I went to different places through them, I guess.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is a very nice part of the job, eh?
Yeah.
So you used to own the Hinton House, you said?
Yes, I bought the Hinton House in 2020. And although it was renovated, it had a lot of history. It was one of the original houses built in Deer Lake between 1923 and 1926.
Oh, wow.
And it was located on Upper Nicholsville Road, which back in the day was called Millionaire Street, because that's where all the bigwigs as such worked in the construction of the powerhouse. And I had permission from the family to name it Hinton House. Donald Hinton was one of the managers at the powerhouse, and his wife Augusta became the first librarian in Deer Lake. Also, another livier at Hinton House was Mr. Klaus Bang, superintendent of the Hydro Development Project. And he was on board the SS Caribou when it was torpedoed by a German U-boat October 14, 1942, and his body was never recovered. So I guess the walls of Hinton House can tell many tales.
I bet they will.
Yes. And because of medical issue, I only operated the Hinton House for 2 years, 2020 to 2022.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But I guess my favorite memory up there, personally, was the memory of a little boy who thanked me for letting him stay there. He referred to Hinton House as a castle.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was so sweet.
That does sound very sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really nice. Do you have any readings you'd like to do today?
I have a couple here. Maybe we can give a go. Okay, I have one. I called it Watery Roots, and it's probably relating to all the people who had to leave their little towns and villages. Watery Roots. Deafening silence, abruptly awakened by the sound of splashing waves on the seashore, where children once stood. Skimming rocks across the mirrored water, a line cast in hopes of sea trout for supper. Mothers keeping watch while pushing the clothesline from tree to tree. Memories, visions. Dilapidated building overlooking the ocean, where young and old gathered as the boats came in, waiting to celebrate the safe return of family and friends, giving thanks for a bumper crop, song and dance till the sun went down. Echoes, emptiness. Vacant houses, window coverings half drawn, mirage of faces reflected in the glass, glistening sun. Perennials still adorn rotting boardwalks, smothering in tumbleweeds, choking is imminent. Sounds bounce with the swishing of alders across rusty, empty barrels, creating an eeriness. Realism strikes with the distant echo hum of a motor, sucking in ocean fresh air, halting, profound sobbing. Leaving home again. Living off the land and sea, simple life. Friends bonded by a harshness of isolation, the call of the ocean. Treasured moments, tranquility. Cleansing of the human temple, natural habitat. Placidness left behind with a push up the start button, rippling, crying waves clinging as we exit the harbor.
What was the title of that poem?
Watery Roots.
Watery Roots. Wow, really nice.
For all the people who were relocated and had to leave their beautiful little harbors and coves for town and city life.
That was a really big thing in Newfoundland.
Yes, it was.
A long time ago.
Yes, yeah. Anyway, it's pretty sad, but
it is.
that's life, I guess. Relocation. And I got another one here if there's time.
Oh, I got lots of time, yeah.
Okay, we did a little project for winter musings, and I guess we all wrote a little ditty about winter. And here's what I came up with. The cabin, or off-grid, whatever you mind to call it. The orange glow of the wood fire illuminated the room, intense heat, slowly melting the frosts and ice from the windows, water dripping in the corners like tears running down a child's face on a cold winter's day, giving a clearer view of the ice-covered pond surrounding the cabin. Skidoo tracks and trails embedded through the snow-laden trees. A gray jay briskly glides to its perch on the porch rail, detectable through the window, patiently awaiting the remnants of human consumption to share with its flock. Colorful flames bouncing off the stove's glass door, some high, some low, dancing to an unknown tune. Heat forcing me to move back from the mystifying tranquility, calming body and soul with the vision of fire, mesmerizing, so seductive, yet can be so devastating. Appetizing aroma of fried potatoes and onions escaping the pan, decimating the stench of the cabin's dampness from the elements, prolonged emptiness. In the dimness of the evening, magical moments of shadows flicker spontaneously on the walls, togetherness in the stillness of the backwoods. Outside, winds whistle and hum, warning the animals to take cover from the drifting snow, impending weather. Smoke bellows from the chimney, depicting a funnel cloud. Odors of charred embers indicating occupation. Profound scent of myrrh reminding me of my father, a lifetime lumberjack. Not a sound inside, just the purr of the oscillating fan circulating the heat, cracking the bones of the wooden structure as if exhaling a sigh of relief, comfort, warmth. Remotely relaxed, immense contentment, soul-searching, no distractions from worldly noise, nature-induced inner peace at the cabin.
Really nice.
Yes, very nice in the backwoods, nobody around, just the blue jays landing on the front deck.
Right.
For some food.
Yeah, I hear you also work outside a little bit too at outfitting camp.
I used to work with our outfitters, but I finished up with them a few years ago. Miss it big time, but the time has come, I guess, when we all gotta pack it in.
That is true.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you used to be a cook, were you?
I was a cook with our for 4 years straight, but I worked on and off. A few years back with them as well. I met many people, mostly American hunters, and they just totally love Newfoundland, our little piece of heaven.
Oh, they really do, yeah.
Yeah.
That's the largest clientele for hunting lodges,
yes,
I think.
It is. And so appreciative of little things you do for them. It could be something as simple as picking up a sock, and they appreciate everything.
What was one thing you liked to cook when you were...
Oh dear, let me see. Cabbage rolls was always a big hit, and usually Saturday we would have steak and shrimp and all the trimmings. That was a big night. Roast beef dinner with the little things you call, forgets now what they're called, little puff pastries.
Oh, yeah.
Yorkies.
Yorkies.
I got the word. Yorkies, yes. That was always a big hit. And of course we had salads and soups. That was a everyday thing. And
we like to ask writers of the show, do you have any tips for any new writers?
Well, everybody is different. I guess we always think our work is rubbish, but every brain operates different. So what I put from pen to paper is not the same as the next person is going to put from pen to paper. I guess everyone is unique, and whatever you write is you.
Right.
It's coming from you, and I find I can't write if there's anybody around. I have to be secluded, as in the cabin, We were in the cabin when I wrote that, and there's another one I wrote about a dory when we were at the cabin, which is a very nice piece of work. You can't have any interruptions because your train of thought is interrupted. Me personally, that's my opinion.
Oh, I know. I'm the same way when I'm writing. I don't want any distractions. I don't want any interruptions.
That's right. I'm the same way, but I'm soon going to have to get mine together because I got pieces of paper and tissues and pieces of cardboard and everything everywhere. No organization whatsoever, so I'll soon have to get mine organized. It's on my bucket list.
Right. I'm the same way with my own writing.
Yeah.
Yeah, mine's very disorganized, a little bit everywhere.
Yeah. And what's your opinion on writing? How do you're the same way? You need silence or?
Oh, I do. I need silence. I like to put my phone on silent and go for evening. And once I get started, I like to stay started. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Right? Yeah. I mean, like, I got my water and all that.
Yeah. So you don't have to move.
Right.
I'm the same way. I kind of like to go into hiding somewhere because if you get up, your thoughts are gone.
Yeah, thank you.
And another thing I like to do too, if I'm out walking and something strikes you, extraordinarily strikes you, and something comes to you, write it down, and then the thoughts will come back to you when you get at home. That's the way I work.
That's like me. I got my note app on my phone, and anytime I get an idea for writing, I write it down right then.
Yes.
And then I can expand it later on.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's exactly the way I do it too, especially walking the beach or anywhere in the morning or whatever. It's just, you get those morning thoughts when you're fresh and crisp and everything else, and if you don't grab it then, it's gone.
Yeah, that might be all the time I have for today. So thank you, listeners, very much for listening to this podcast. We appreciate you listening. Follow us on Facebook for more. See you next week. This has been Nathan and Daisy. Bye.
Thank you, Nathan, for having me.
Yeah, speaking of connections, here's Jean Young with Daisy.
Hi. Long before page 1, when I was known as Jean Head of 4th Avenue, daughter of May and Woodrow Head, Daisy Lush was known as Daisy Bennett.
Correct.
Of course, and we were friends. She was a little bit older than I was.
Yeah.
Not much.
No.
So she'd take me under her wing and take me to places that my mother sent me. Do you remember that, Daisy?
Yeah, I used to take you to the store, and I lived just down across the valley, what we call the valley, down through Langdowns and Turpins. And I would walk up and take you by the hand, and we would go out to probably Bertha White's, more than likely.
Probably
Bertha White's or Matthews. There were so many stores here on High Street at that time, back in the day.
Yes. And we'd go to the Bank of Montreal.
Bank of Montreal, that was the big bank in Deer Lake. Was that still on Main Street at that point?
No, that was down where next door to the fitness center, not the Isle of View.
Okay, right, yes, because back in the day it was up on Main Street by the movie theater.
That was later, yes,
that was later.
Sure.
Okay, right on.
Yes, and we paid light bills and so on.
Yeah, and we were only whippersnippers, and we had to do. We used to go to the bank and to the stores for our parents.
We'd stand up on our tiptoes to get and see over the counter.
Yeah, that's right.
So,
I remember going up to Bullwater's pay depot there in the offices there across the track at that time.
Yes.
And passing in a note and peeping over the counter to pick up Dad's paycheck.
Yes.
And like I was just a child.
We had a lot more independence.
We sure did, and we walked everywhere. There's no such thing as a ride.
Yes. No, of course not.
And we stayed out until we were called in. There's no such thing as staying in the house hanging out.
Never. Never.
Yeah.
And wherever you were when it was lunchtime, you ate.
You ate. That's right.
But we call it dinner time.
Yeah. Dinner time.
Dinner was around noon, and then supper time was around 5 or give give or take.
Yeah, and youngsters everywhere, between the Langdowns and the Goldings and the Foleys and the Bennetts, the Hayes and the Goosneys.
The McKays.
And the McKays. So there was no shortage of children around.
No, there seemed to be more on 4th Avenue than 3rd Avenue. Didn't it?
Yeah, we never, because you had the big families. You had the Goldings and Langdowns and the McKays just on the top of the road there on High Street and 4th, I guess, yeah.
We counted them once. There was 100 people on 4th Avenue at one time.
Imagine that.
There's only half a dozen families.
Yeah, that's right. They all had big families back then. Always someone to look after you when you got older. Now there's no one.
Yeah. Do you remember the movies?
Oh yes, I remember going to the movies one time. I don't know what youngster I brought with me. I think it was one of Bill Critch's children down across from us. And I won a monkey.
Wow.
Brooke Bond or something it was. Yeah, I remember going to the movies.
Yes.
Line up
right down around the turn.
Yeah. And I remember we were really young, and if Mom put lipstick on, we knew where she was going, to the show, as we used to call it, right?
Yes, because you called the movie the show.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right.
That was
a big event.
Yeah, it was a big event.
Yes.
Usually when the men came into camp, they go out one night.
Did they?
Yeah, they go out one night to the show. Movie now. For those who don't understand what I'm saying. Yeah.
It was very simple times.
It was very simple times. We didn't have anything. We just had enough to survive. But you know what? We all came through it.
Yes.
And none of us was convicts or anything. We all turned out good.
And nobody on social assistance or anything like that.
That's right.
And even families that grew up rough turned out well.
Absolutely, they did. They turned out perfect. And I mean, there's a lot to be said for not having much, but having respect and everything for, growing up in that.
They say it takes a village to raise a child.
Yep.
So I guess we had a pretty good village.
We had a pretty good village because we all hung out in each other's houses, and some went on bedtime and some didn't.
Of course, there's the old story about the Goldings and the Bennetts. Anyone with a big family would say the father tried to tuck them in and one person started crying.
Yeah.
He said, but I don't live here.
Yeah, I know it. There's so many, you just keep on talking and you don't know who they are.
And the food, we spread it with bread.
Bread. Yeah.
Bread is what kept most of us going.
You had to eat what was in front of you because there was no choices.
No way.
Take it or leave it. Yeah, that's right. We had that conversation yesterday, actually.
Yes.
The kids now, it's 5 or 6 things they don't like. Well, we'll take you over to A&W or Kentucky Fried. But we never had those choices.
Did you ever go out to Murray Jewers when he had the...
Oh my God, did I ever. Remember Lil and Juro? Remember Lil and Juro? They were your relatives. I used to always have to go out there and pick up an order for them. And I remember Juro used to always have Mountain Dew. I always remember, every time I see Mountain Dew, I think it's the Juro family.
They were nice people.
Oh, the best. I pretty much lived up there with them until they moved out to St. David's.
Yeah.
But Murray Jewers was the place to go.
It was the French fries, and we call them chips then, though.
Yeah.
We call them French fries. And chips with gravy in a cardboard box.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it tasted so good, didn't it?
Mom said they used to go in the back there and peel potatoes and make fries. And somebody else, probably Whence or someone. It was all good times down them avenues, Jean. I can tell you that.
Yes. Entertainment and night from... Times were different. I don't know. Yeah, I know. I'm very different. Very different. And when you'd go out of town, they'd say, watch out for the horses.
Yes, horses.
Horses were allowed to roam all around town in summertime. And they'd pick up the horses and ran them up in the fall and bring them up to the woods camps.
Yeah.
And they'd work, but nobody looked after them in the summertime.
No,
just allowed to roam.
They used to roam up around that area. Yeah.
So you wouldn't say watch out for the moose, you would say
watch out for the horses, watch out for the horses. It was a common sight around town for sure.
And they come in herds and come thundering down the roads. And times were different.
Very different.
And no dogs were on leashes.
Dogs and cats roamed the town.
All over the place.
Yeah, all.
So you'd watch out for the dogs too.
That's true.
Thank you very much, Nathan.
Two old biddies here on the
Thank you
yard.
very much, Daisy.
And you're welcome, Jean. It's
Yeah.
nice reminiscing about 3rd and 4th Avenue for sure.
I tell you,
Yeah.
Newtown bunch were a top bunch, but
Yeah. We all stayed good friends. That's the
did,
main
didn't
part
we?
of it. We did so.
and if
All
something
of us.
comes up now and you meet each other, you're still friends.
Yeah, still friends. Yeah, still
Yes.
friends for sure.
Yes.
Yeah. That's a good
There's
thing
something
about
to be said about that.
it. It is.
Again, thanks very much.
You're
It's
kindly
been a
welcome.
pleasure. And
Same here, Jean.